Welcome back everyone, I'm the Depressed Eeyore, and this is Final Fantasy Tactics. So, we just hit the start of Chapter 2, we're going to be going after the princess, or whatever, that got captured, and Gafgarion and Agrias will be coming with us. And we actually get 3 new recruits who I'm going to take all their stuff and quickly kick them out of the party. So we get Red, Alicia. As you can see, they got some pretty good gear on them, so I definitely want to take them along. Or not take them along, but take their stuff. Hey, a wizard robe. And level-wise, it looks like they're actually higher level than us, so that's actually some good signs. We do have Gafgarion and Agrias as guests, and what I'm going to be doing with them is, of course, taking all of their stuff. I can't kick them out, but I can definitely take their stuff. Oh, no, don't do that yet. That comes later. Alright, but I'm going to go ahead and point out something about flails, because this is our first flail. It ignores evasion. So all flails in this game ignore evasion. That's their main benefit. So, and priests can actually use them. So if you equip a priest with a flail, they can generally hold their own as far as damage is concerned. Now the catch is flails are very much like axes, and the damage is very variable. It does anywhere from 1 times your weapon level to your actual physical attack power times your weapon level. They also don't have as much attack power as axes, so it's variable and doesn't have a higher top-off point. So let's go ahead and remove that flail. Triangle hat gives +1 magic. So this is an actual hat that's designed for mages. Standard adamantite vest and a leather mantle. Mithril swords we know about. Mithril shields actually give additional physical resistance and magic resistance. Or evasion, sorry. And they also give you plus magic attack, which is actually really useful for our characters that want to be hybrids. Mithril helmet also gives +1 magic attack, so good stuff there, and some of the other stuff. That on top of the wizard robe, that's actually really good. We might be able to actually have some casters yet. Alright, so while we're doing that, let's go ahead and do that. So we actually got some gold armor and plate mail, just high tier armor, pretty straightforward. So right now I'm going to go ahead and just gear up everybody based off of just general stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and take the wizard robe on Ramza because he always needs more MP. He can't equip the triangle hat, but he can equip the mithril helmet, so that'll give him more magic, and then the mithril shield, which gives him additional magic. Alright, so now he actually has 25% evasion against magic, which is always good. And we'll go ahead and equip Forge here with the mithril helmets, and we'll give him a mithril shield as well, and that'll give him some additional magic as well, which will make his elemental stuff a little bit better. And it looks like we had a spare chainmail, which I never used, so I guess that's good. We're actually going to go ahead and give you... Tell you what, we'll give you the chainmail. Jizad over here is going to get himself the gold shield. And he can also take the cross helmets and the plate mail. So there you go, 255 HP. We also have some spare swords, don't we? Yes, we do. We have a lot of mithril swords now, so we can up his damage a little bit. But I think I'm going to keep him tanky at the moment. So yeah, those 3 characters I'm going to drop. Gafgarion, the guest I have to keep, so I don't really get a choice there. So mithril shield for you. Yep, that's fine. And then gold helmet, and gold armor, and oh, we also have power wrist. We got that off of Gafgarion, I think. +1 physical, so it just increases physical attack power. And then the armlet increases physical and magic, and cancels slow, so it's pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and give her the armlet, because I think that's what she had. And, I think that's about it. There's probably some damage formulas that I need to look up, such as for dancers and all that stuff, but I'll deal with that later. So for right now, let's go ahead and drop these people, because we don't want them. Their stats aren't too bad, but I don't think anyone wants me to keep these characters, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop them. They do say some unique stuff if you like go to the help menu and tap on their name, but honestly, I don't really care. Bye bye, Rad. There you go. Alright, but we do have a little bit of control over these characters. We do have Stasis Sword, and that's it, so I'll go ahead and give her Weapon Guard and all that stuff. Eventually, Agrias will become a regular party member, so keep that in mind. Seeing if I actually have any support abilities I can use. I do not. I'm pretty sure I don't have any movement abilities either. Nope. No movement abilities whatsoever. Okay, well that's all she gets. And Gafgarion over here is gonna get his usual stuff as well. He already knows both his Dark Knight abilities. Okay, so yeah, this is, well, I need to get him some gear, so give him best. Sure, I'll give him that for now, but obviously I can make adjustments if necessary. So this is what we got so far. Rinazuki's gonna stay as a punching bag, so don't worry about that. Ramses now has some new abilities as a Squire. This is Chapter 2 Squire, which has some additional abilities. Nothing too special, to be honest. But if you want to go Squire, you do have some additional equipment options. Besides that, that's pretty much it. And at this point, he can become a Master Knight. But yeah, so if you still want Ramses to go towards Samurai, just let me know. And if you got any questions, by all means, just ask. But as far as like his requirements, or what was recommended or asked for, he's a knight and he has white magic, so he has all that. Some of the only abilities I don't have on him right now are the ones that are samurai specific, so I'll be working towards those, I guess. But if you want to change things, by all means, let me know. Auric. So Auric, I got access to Lancer, but we don't have any access to Lances yet. But in this chapter, he should be able to become a Lancer. In which case, I can go for Ignore Height and all that good stuff. He has maintenance, so he's immune to weapon breaks and weapon steals, and I mean, I've been using him as my thief so far, but obviously that's going to become less and less important as we go on. Aaron is a dancer. There wasn't really any recommendations for specific skills or anything like that, or secondary skills. Really, I think the only thing was become a dancer and focus towards melee and like support, offensive support. And as you can see, the offensive support part is very much there. If I want to, I can teach her fly. So if you have any specific recommendations for movement, if you want higher movement or just more flexibility in your movement, that is available to us. What fly does is essentially lets you fly over obstacles and fly up any elevation. So it's like Ignore Height, but you can also fly over things. So you can fly over a wall, for example. Of course, I'm going to get all the dances eventually. Forge. So the focus for him was to get Geomancer abilities as well as attack up and be a knight. So that's what he has. He has secondary elemental, and this is where he's at. He does pretty good damage. His elemental is okay. I mean, obviously, if he was a Geomancer, the elemental damage would be higher. But as a knight, he can wear heavy armor. And as you can see right now, his heavy armor gives him additional magic attacks, so his elemental stuff should get better. But of course the main focus eventually is going to become Samurai, so if that's the case, by all means let me know. If you want to change it, also let me know. Shizad, of course, only wanted to be a tanky knight, and I went ahead and just left him a knight. There are some tanky options that we could go for by going through other classes, such as the Oracle's Defense Up ability. Or you can go for, I think it's the Priest Magic Defense Up, so you can become slightly more tanky against magic. There's also, I guess, a few other options, I guess. I mean, you can try going, instead of going Weapon Guard, you can go HP Restore, or you can go Auto Potion, things like that. So, I mean, there's some options, but like I said, he's a knight, and I mean, if we end up not getting any additional information for Chizad, I might let him just sit back and let some other characters step in. Agrias had probably the highest requirements out of everybody. I mean, I guess Hato no Kokoro might be pretty close. The reason hers are pretty high is she actually needed to hit level 5 in 2 classes, which is a lot of job points. But she did unlock Ninja, so she is working towards getting 2 weapon. And then once I get 1 more level of Knight, she can actually become a Samurai with 2 weapons. That was the goal. It was Samurai with 2 weapons, Regenerator, and that's about it. So, like I said, if you want to make any additional changes, let me know. I don't intend on using her until I've completed her kit at this point. So I'll be at this point I'll be focusing on characters that have either completed kits or their kit was specific enough that that included additional steps. And of course I get some stuttering. Okay. Hato no Kokoro. Honestly, you're going for Mime, and I'm halfway there. The reason I could have probably reached it, but of course I didn't want to overlevel. So my main focus is probably to go ahead and get her up to Mime. So I don't think there's really any changes you want me to make, because really there's no build changes for Mime unless you just want to go away from Mime. And since I haven't shown it yet, I'm just going to assume that you're going to want to continue towards Mime. Shun Reaction, he much like Kokoro, he joined a bit late, so I've got him to Monk. I'm now working on Mediator abilities, so that's kind of my focus. Obviously I need to get HP Restore up and running, which I actually have enough to get, so let's go ahead and handle that right now. And he already has some Monk abilities because he got some, so there you go. He wants HP Restore. Okay. He also wanted Concentrate, which I got. So yeah, the only thing I need to do is get some Mediator abilities, at least enough to warrant it being a secondary, and just change him into a Monk. So if you have any additional updates, let me know. For the most part, I will probably try to start working him into the group just to see how he plays out, and so you guys can see how it plays out. And that's about it. One thing to definitely consider for Chapter 2 is eventually we're going to get Agrias as a regular party member. So I did show off specific special classes, so if you're interested, this is the Holy Knight class. All of the attacks are instant cast. They do cost MP now, and they have a chance of being evaded because they're physical attacks. But they can hit multiple targets. They do pretty good damage still. It's based off your physical attack power, I believe. I don't remember the exact formula. But all these special abilities generally have some additional effects on top of them. So for example, Stasis Sword does Stop, which you've seen trigger. This, later on we can get Split Punch, which is a single target but can cause deaths in it. It also has a longer range than Stasis Sword. Crush Punch, which is long range and has a single target but it can cause death. Lightning Stab, which is long range and pretty good wide effect and can hit multiple targets and causes silence. Lightning Stab tends to be the go-to major attack ability for Holy Knights in later game. And then there's Holy Explosion, which is a long range, it shoots straight line and hits multiple targets and causes confusion. And besides that, everything else is standard Squire stuff. So if you want to go for this, let me know. Definitely go for some specifics for this though, because if you just go straight Holy Knight, you're going to be missing out on all the other potentials you can get for job abilities. So let me know if you what sort of secondary abilities, you know, reactions, supports, and movement you want for Agrias. That's assuming you guys want to use her. If no one votes for her, votes to use her, I will not use her. I don't think anyone really voted for her last time, but like I said, she's not as overpowered as the original game, but she does have unique abilities that are still relatively useful. So if you want to go for this, by all means, let me know. And if you want her to change classes and stuff, let me know. The only catch about Holy Swords, though, is you do need to have some sort of sword to actually use Holy Sword. So be aware of that. So if you end up going to a class that doesn't have swords, you will not be able to use Holy Sword as a secondary. And yeah, that's about it. Also, Holy Knights have 25% of base evasion, which is actually pretty impressive. Anyway, that's about it. So just like before, if you want to introduce a new character, you need to tell me a name, a gender, and at least a job class. At this point in the game, specifics are going to be favored. So if you want some help fleshing out a build, post it in the comments. I will do my best to help you out, but by all means, just try to be as detailed as possible, because if not, at this point, I'll probably stick with characters that are already in existence. And to be honest, if you have any suggestions for characters that are in existence, by all means, there's only so many slots I have access to, and we're about to get a bunch of unique characters in the future, so if you do have suggestions for other characters, by all means, obviously be polite about it, don't stomp on each other or anything like that. But yeah, specifically those who have characters, try to give an update if you want to stick with what's going on, or if you want to change things up a little bit. Or, I mean, in most cases you might want to wait and see, because I haven't reached some of your requirements yet. So yeah, this is up to you guys. If I get very, very little participation, I might start randomizing people, because these are your characters, not mine. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Very straightforward. It's pretty much just like before, but I do favor more detail now because it's Chapter 2. You kind of got to see a little bit of how classes work. Probably not as much as I would have hoped, but that's just how it is, because you guys asked for a lot of high requirements, unfortunately. A lot of you guys wanted Samurai. Which I guess is probably another thing to point out. Ramses' end result is supposedly going to be Samurai. Forge's end result is going to be Samurai, and Agrias' end result is going to be Samurai. So you have a lot of physical attackers. So if you want to mess around with casters, let me know. I know some of you guys have secondaries and casters. I know Ramsay here is going to have as white magic, and obviously we're going to have some talk skills soon, and we have elemental. So we do have some interesting combinations, but I'm just letting you know we do have a lot of favor towards Samurai. But like I said, I'll work with whatever you got. If you want to throw 4 dancers my way, I'll make it work somehow. So, I am The Depressed Viewer. This was Final Fantasy Tactics, and this is Chapter 2 voting. See you guys later.